Hello, welcome back. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do a very quick show you what I got at a thrift store yesterday, and then as I go through the day, I'll show you more of what I'm doing. But I'll start with this dress. $5, and it doesn't fit either of my daughters. It's too tight in the lower part. The top's too big, the bottom is too tight. So I have a friend who's got a daughter that it might fit. If not, I'll bring it for my nieces next week when I go on my trip. I got 2 large platters for $1 a piece. The dress was $5. I got a pair of size 5 pants for my son that are in the dirty clothes. It's just navy dress pants. I got this book set, Daughter of the Loom, by Tracy Peterson and Judith Miller. So my daughter doesn't have those. She's very excited to get those. And then I got a salt shaker, which only has the one little hole, but it pours pretty well. It doesn't overly pour, so it'll work. So that was what I got. I got 2 scrub shirts, but I already washed those and gave them to my friend. So I think that was all I got. Pretty sure. So yeah, that's what I got. All right, first recipe. All right, so I found this on eBay. This is Tempting Thrifty Wartime Meals for 2, 4, and 6 with some meatless menus. So this is the book, and it was written in 1942. It was produced by the Pet Milk Company. So I found a recipe called sweet potatoes and apples. Now it says to turn on the oven to 375. So I'll start that. All right. Then it says grease a shallow baking dish holding about 2.5 cups. So this is going to be the 2-person, because I'm going to make this for myself and my husband for part of our lunch today. So I have sweet potatoes. It says I need, it's kind of written different. It's not written in a regular list. It's got the directions and then the recipe. So onion, 4 teaspoons of onion, bacon fat or other shortening, which I have somewhere around here. I've got a tub of shortening. I'll use a little bit of that. Sweet potatoes, says 2/3 of a cup. So I'll go ahead and cook 2. I have to boil these, chop them up and boil them, and then I'll just measure out 2/3 cup. Soft breadcrumbs, which I got these, and 1/2 cup finely diced apple. Have an apple. Salt, pepper, and pet milk. 1/3 cup of pet milk or evaporated milk. So I'm going to get started. All right, so now that I've got my potatoes cooking and I've got my onions finely diced, my apples chopped, now I'm going to measure out the breadcrumbs. It says 1 cup, which I have a 1/2 cup. I'll just fill that twice. So there's my breadcrumbs. Then a 1/3 cup of pet milk. That's dirty. After this gets used, it gets magnetized to the refrigerator, and it must have done like tomato sauce or something. Of course, I messed up the very first time. All right, wipe it off so it doesn't get nasty again. Okay, so 1/3 is right down there. This is a bigger measuring cup, but that's a 1/3 cup. So, okay, I have everything prepped now. All I'm waiting for is for the potatoes, which are boiling, to cook, and then I'll assemble. All right, time for assembly. Okay, first thing it said to do was finely chop the onions, put 2 teaspoons of fat, and brown them for 5 minutes. So I did that. I'm going to add that in here. Then it says mash the sweet potatoes. So I'm going to pour those in there, 2/3 cup of sweet potatoes. And grab my masher, which I think is dirty. So let me go wash it. It was in the dishwasher, and the dishwasher had not been run yet. So it's not quite full, and I didn't want to run it just yet because I knew I'd have all this little stuff to go in there. Okay, so we're mashing the sweet potatoes. Okay, back in my water. Okay, now, next thing, it says to add the breadcrumbs. So we're going to pour those in. Now it says to add the cooked onion, but that doesn't really matter. And the apples. All right. Mix that up. And then it says to add salt and pepper. So use my new salt shaker. Not much comes out of it. That's okay. And pepper. Here it is. All right. Mix all that up. And then pour in the evaporated milk. Mix thoroughly and then put in a baking thing. Now, I will say this, and I may have to switch containers. I may have to find something smaller. This is what I had pulled out. I don't know if that's going to work or not. I'm going to try it. It may be too big for this. Okay, that's all done. Yeah, it'll work. We'll mash all that in there, press all that into it. And then it says to cover and bake. So, I've got my oven preheated. I'm going to put a lid on this, and I'll be back. All right, while that's in the oven, I'm going to start my carrots because I need to peel and dice all of these carrots up. So I'm going to do my favorite carrot recipe. I'm going to put this in the oven while the other is cooking so that this will melt while I peel and chop all the carrots. All right, so this is very, very hot, so I've got to be careful with it, but I have all my carrots chopped. I'm going to add that to the pot, to the, whatever this is, casserole dish. Going to add my diced up onions. Try to get some more of those out of there. Going to toss that so that the butter incorporates throughout it. Going to salt it. Pepper it. Give it a little stir. Now I'm going to put a lid on this, and I'm going to put it back in the oven for 1 hour. All right, let's try it. It's good. A little dry, but good. All right, so for supper tonight, I'm going to take these cooked potatoes, some leftover sandwich meat ham, and some cheese that I had, and I'm going to make a one dish cheesy ham potatoes that they can serve with the carrots for supper tonight. So I'm going to start by chopping all this up into big diced pieces. Mix this all together. I'm going to save the liquid to use for something else. Mix all this up. I'm going to add about half of this cheese into it. Kind of more of a way to meld it all together when it bakes. Alright. Then I've already sprayed this with oil. So I'm going to toss this in. Then I'm going to top it with cheese, and this is actually going to go into the refrigerator with foil on it until time to fix supper. Alright, break up some of these chunks. I had a bag of cheese that I bought at Sam's last month that we have used on, but we haven't used it all up yet. Still have a little bit left, but this is enough for this. It didn't have to be super cheesy. I just wanted a little bit of the flavor of cheese in it. Then I'm going to top it with foil and stick it in the fridge. Now, they're going to serve this with the baked carrots. So they can get a scoop of this and a serving of carrots, and that'll be a good supper before church.